So ran into an issue lately, kind of a major issue on the Mazda 323. It was sticking. I could not go in gear, right? And yesterday it drove kind of fine. Today it's a little bit colder today, and I thought maybe it was because it was cold. It wasn't going into gear, and when it would, it gets stuck right into gear. So this is what temporarily fixed it, and how to adjust the clutch. Right here, this bolt right here, it's a 12. I'm going to loosen it. Oh, sorry, went the wrong way. Going to loosen it. Okay. Okay. Now, I already adjusted it. I'm sorry, I'm in a weird spot in my body. Okay, I already adjusted it to where I got it back home. Now what I'm gonna do is adjust it a little bit more. Just a little bit more. Okay. All right, now I'm gonna tighten it. All right. Now apparently, oh goddamn! Now apparently, it wasn't engaging the clutch at all. Damn, dude. I don't have my keys on me. Let me start my car and show you. Going into gear. Now reverse is always fucking hard to catch. Now it's stuck in reverse. See, I don't get this, man. So today I'm putting the new clutch cylinder in the Volvo 940, the Mazda 323 hatchback, and this is my first time doing it myself, and this is what it looks like. I got the battery out. I've got one of these line wrenches. It's a 10 right down here. It's kind of a tight fit. 2 bolts that hold it in. You can see right there, there's one that's coming out, and on the on this guy, there's a bolt that's going in. Now when I took this out, there's a lot of black. It's just rusted, and it was leaking out of here. Now my symptoms were, first of all, when I drove it one day, it wouldn't go into gear at all. And then I parked it and sat around and adjusted the clutch bolt. And when I adjusted the clutch bolt, it pushed this in more. It pushed it in more so I could drive again. I drove it home, right? So when it pushed it, when this worked better, when it pushed it in, when I pushed the clutch in, I could actually switch gears and shit. But there it is right here, down here. That's what I'm talking about. When I pushed this in, after I adjusted it, I'm sorry, I'm not making any sense right now. After I adjusted it to where it pushed it in even further, I could switch gears, and I drove it home. Now, when I drove it home, I noticed that it was acting very spongy, and I would press the clutch down, and I would hold it down for a little bit, and it would kind of stay to the floor, and it would go back up slowly. Changing gears was a pain. So this is what my symptoms were. Changing gears, it would stick, and it wouldn't be smooth, right? So, and I noticed all that rust, and I noticed it was leaking a little bit. So let's change it out and see if that helps. I also bought a clutch because I thought maybe my clutch is bad, and it's a 91, you know, possibly the clutch is out. So I bought a clutch, and I also bought this. So let's put this back in, and yeah. Check it out. out, guys. Down here, it's hard to see it. Right down in there is the new clutch cylinder. That's what it looks like. Eventually I'm going to replace this. And yeah, this is what we... So recently down here, down yonder, I got a new clutch. And a new clutch cylinder. One day I had problems when I was driving and it was sticking, right? It was sticking, and at one point I couldn't get it out. I couldn't get it into gear and I couldn't get it out of gear, and I had to push it. It was just stuck, right? And the clutch didn't seem like it was working. So I learned how to adjust the clutch to where it pushes that rod into that into the cylinder. What's it called? The slave cylinder, the master cylinder. It's the slave cylinder, the clutch cylinder. And it pushed that rod more into it enough to where I could switch gears, right? And that worked for a day. That helped me actually get the car back home. And I was driving it around afterwards, and the clutch felt spongy. Like I'd hit it, I'd push it to the ground, and it would kind of stay down there. And it was just, the feeling was off, and it wasn't like smooth. It was very spongy. That's the only word I could really use, spongy. And like putting your foot into a sponge, which it didn't have no bounce back. You know, it was just, that's how it was. So anyways, after I put that new clutch cylinder in, I was thinking I needed to get a new clutch all in general, so I bought a clutch kit. And I hit up a guy and I asked him for a price, and then I said, you know what, I'm gonna change out the clutch cylinder. I'm gonna change it out. It's a couple bolts. Let's see if that works, see if it makes it better. And guess what? That fixed the problem. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Reverse. That fixed it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Reverse. So yeah, I've been driving like that for a week now. I've been taking it to Austin. I put over 200 miles on it after putting in that new clutch cylinder in, and that fixed the problem for me. So I know eventually down the line I'm gonna have to replace the clutch. Down the line, you know, I've read that clutches don't last forever, so I don't know if it's been replaced before. When I changed the air filter out and some of the things out on this car, I realized that somebody actually cared a little bit about this car, and they kept it. You know, they did what they could. But yeah, that fixed it for me. I made a video about how to adjust the clutch to where it pushed that rod in, and it helped me get it into a gear, and I took my ass back home. But down there, it was all rusted out. That old clutch cylinder was all rusted out, and the clutch fluid was black. It was just super old, and it looked original, and it most likely was original. Hasn't been changed out, and you can tell that just it was like leaking inside, and some of the rubber was just, it was bad shape, you know. And that, you know, long story short, that fixed my problem. And if anybody's restoring this car, you might want to do that first before driving around. And you know, I don't have nobody to teach me about this car. I don't have no videos, nobody ever making videos about, you know, Mazda 323s. A lot of people don't even know about this car. I didn't even know about this car. But hopefully this could help somebody out. And apparently these cars last a while, for a good minute. They are reliable and they're easy to work on. So I'm finding this out myself. And yeah, and it's a 91, so it's older than me. It's 31 years old. 32 now? Who knows? 30 something. And it's about time for some of these parts to fail and get replaced. And when they get replaced, they'll last another 30 something years, hopefully. So anyways, if you're restoring one of these, I would take a half a day, a couple hours to do that. It's not a big job, but it's well worth it. You don't have to be like me and get stranded on the road and yeah. So that's where it's at down there. Kind of hard to see, sorry, but because the battery's in the way. I also got new battery connections, just little shit, you know, little shit that'll need to get a new radiator cap or cap. Put new rubber hoses in, radiator hoses, new radiator fluid, trans fluid, oil change, you know, new air filter. What else? Spark plug wires are on the way. And yeah, coming up next is new struts, rotors, brakes. I'm gonna learn all this shit myself. So peace out, guys.